What up, everybody? Welcome back to Feral Publications YouTube channel. As always, it's me, Rich, and as always, I bring you some dope ass underground comics, art, books, movies, whatever the fuck I can find that's underground and radical. And today, I'm happy to mention HeadWinds 1 and 2. These fucking magazines are fucking dope. Let's get into it. So what I like about this zine? Well, to begin with, I love that it's rooted in that community and really is aimed at and meant for that community. Now, if you're watching this YouTube video, guess what? You're fucking part of that community as well. Because each issue has a whole section of fucking zine reviews. That's right, the shit I do once in a fucking while and I make a video, they do it all the fucking time. Like each section of the zine review has maybe 10 zine reviews. So I absolutely love that. You're part of this community. This zine is made for people like you. So if you get the chance, check it out. If you can't get a copy, at least follow them. And I'll put a link in that in the descriptions. But secondly, I love the interviews. I love the interviews and I love the bands that they interviewed. Like in issue 1, they interviewed the Natadors. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I guess they're named after a bat. Very, very interesting. And the whole band is vegan and they're very environmental conscious. And the person they're interviewing was the lead singer, and she goes on these rants about the environment and so on and so forth. And if you didn't know, I'm a vegan, and the environment is definitely a big part of the shit that fucking worries me. And you know, that interview, they get into this whole discussion about Orwell versus Huxley, and you know, 1984 versus A Brave New World. And for a long time, I absolutely understood and agreed that it was going to be more of a Brave New World than it was going to be a 1984, in the sense of, I forget how exactly she worded it in the interview, but it was something to the effect of, basically, our overconsumption is basically the chains of our new modern day slavery. Now let's get to the comics, because I fucking love comics, as you all know. And I love the narrative style, I love the pacing, I love the art. But more importantly than all that, because I'm more of a story fella, I love the story. I love the stories that they tell through these comics. You know, the issue 1 had that story, which I don't know if it's true or not, but Citizens of Nowhere, which that is in itself very interesting. That's the kind of tidbits you get from this zine, where like, I never heard that, but Margaret Thatcher, I guess, she said, if you're a citizen of the world, you're a citizen of nowhere. And so someone reappropriated that and named their band Citizens of Nowhere, which I thought was clever and fucking hella dope. But that comic talks about how this Citizen of Nowhere basically built up this platform and became very trendy and very hipsterish. And so instead of falling into the mainstream, he gave that platform up to the characters in the comic, which I believe one of them is the writer and artist, and then they fucking use that platform to throw some real radical political shit at the people. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, like, why do we want to build a platform? We want to build a platform so that we can disrupt and confront the mainstream media, so we can disrupt, confront hatred, so we can disrupt, confront capitalism and all these other isms that fuck with us. That's why I love these comics in this zine so much, because it literally goes off of this lifestyle, this attitude, this culture, you know, this culture of like resistance. So, you know, I fucking love it, man. I fucking loved it a lot. And so lastly, at the heart of this zine, they have this saying, which we have out here in LA as well, which I think anywhere that does anything that's part of the underground resistance to the fucking monotony of the mainstream media, books, and everything else that comes with it, that if you don't support your local venues, they go away. If you don't support your zinesters and Zine Fest, they go away. If you got $50, $60 to fucking go drop it on one mainstream artist, come on, bro. You got 10, 15 bucks, go support a local punk band. You know, if you got $20 to buy a book, you got $5 to buy a zine. So don't forget, support your local zinesters, support your local gigs. You know, it's the only way we're able to really counter the mainstream media. It's the only way we're really able to counter capitalism by, like as Gaby said, right, in the last one, supporting the handmade versus the store bought. All right, you guys, till next time. Lates.